Hey, what's up? Welcome to our podcast.
It's me.
And it's me.
Sunglasses, guys.
We're just going to talk about some creepy stuff that's happened to us. I remember one time we both were custodians, and it started with me, actually. When I was working there before he started working there, there was one time I was cleaning out an auditorium and didn't have the lights on or anything. I had just the lights coming in from the hallway, and there was like a little pamphlet, and I looked down and it looked like someone scribbled a devil face. It had like horns and everything, and it had like its eyes, typical stuff. And so I was going to send a picture to him because like he probably would have thought it was cool. So I pull out my phone, and when I take the picture, the face is gone, like in the picture. And like when I sent it to him, he was like, "Why did you send me that?" I was like, "You didn't see the face on it?" He's like, "No."
There's like nothing, like at all.
So I go back into my pictures and I look at it and it's gone. But like on the pamphlet, the face was there. And it was just scared the crap out of me. Like it made me feel like really uneasy. And so then, like probably a month went by, and then he actually started working at the same building. We were both full time there, and there was one night where he was helping me clean out the auditorium again, and before we started cleaning it, I was like, "Dude, you gotta come in here and just like feel this energy, like with all the doors closed and the lights off." So we go in, and like I close the doors and the lights are off, and it's like mainly quiet except for like typical like HVAC sounds and stuff like that, like air conditioning and stuff. Then out of nowhere, it sounded like someone took like a full trash bag and just slammed it up against the wall, like 20 feet away from us. And we both look at each other and we're like,
we're getting the hell out of here. Like there's no way we can like prove it. It just happened to us.
Yeah.
And nobody else like really in the building except the other custodians.
Mm-hmm.
And they wouldn't be fucking with us because they're working on their areas.
Mm-hmm. And because the one guy was in his hallway, and then the other woman had left, and then the other guy was on the complete opposite end of the school. So like, yeah, and like all the kids were gone. This is like probably about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it was late.
And so we got the hell out of there. But like I remember like when I heard it, just shivers went down my spine. Like
I didn't even know how to react when it happened. Like
I remember we both looked at each other like
with like the dimmest light coming from the hallway. Yeah. Because it was just like pitch black. All you could see is like just the electrical like buttons and stuff.
Yeah, like the exit sign light and everything.
It was complete darkness and nobody else in the place.
Yeah. Hey, dude, and then was it that same night?
That same night, your keys? Is that what you're talking about?
No, the heat, like the heater that was above us.
The speaker, like the auditorium speakers. They're huge as hell, and they're. You want to tell it?
It don't matter. But was that the same night?
That was the same night because you also lost your keys.
Yeah, just one hell of a night. Like that same night, we were finishing up. And we walked back into the auditorium just to double check to see if all the doors were locked. And, from the experience we just had, like an hour before then, we're like, let's go back in here and see if like we can hear something else. Because I mean, we both like enjoy hearing creepy stories and like experience different stuff. Yeah. So we're like, let's see if it'll happen again. So we walk back in there, dude, and then we're both like just. The way that auditorium is from the sides, like the stage entrance, You open up the doors, and there's probably got about 20 feet, and you have 3 stairs that lead down. And we go in, and we sit, well, not sit, but we stand at the bottom of the staircase, and we're just probably in there for about a minute. And then we're just, like, looking at each other, and we're looking around, like, trying to see if we hear anything. And then out of nowhere, we hear, like, a rumbling sound. And we both look up, and this industrial-sized speaker, like, for a large auditorium, just starts shaking. Like, we look up, and this thing is, like, and we're like, let's get the fuck out of here. Like,
I swore it was gonna fall. Like, it was gonna fucking kill one of us.
Because, like, before then, like, that auditorium, it was in my area that I clean every night. I've never heard it do that. I've never seen it do that. And, like, I'm in there for 30 minutes to an hour every day.
Yeah.
Or every night. And, so, like, yeah, that happened. And, I mean, even when we heard that weird garbage bag sound, like, the speakers weren't doing anything. And, you know, it wasn't like the HVAC kicking on or something like that. It was just like something getting ready to fall apart.
Yeah.
And, man, like, we fucking booked it.
I was about to be like, oh, I'm about to watch him get fucking crushed by this thing.
Oh my god.
Because we're in there because you lost your keys.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we first walked in there. Because
we walked in.
We heard the garbage bag noise. And then we went back in there to be like, make sure nobody's fucking with us.
Yeah.
And then we walk out, and that's when we're about to head out. Like, we're about to.
Yeah, we got off at 10. It was probably about 9:30 ish.
And then we're about to walk out to the cars to leave, and then he realizes he doesn't have his keys on him.
And I have, like, a carabiner. Like, my keys are on a carabiner, and I always put them on my belt loop every day. Like, when the keys are not in the ignition, they're on my belt loop every day, no matter what. And so we're leaving, and we walk down the stairs to go to our vehicles. I reach down, my key's not there. So I'm like, oh my god. It's like patting on my pockets. Like, I go back into the break room, like maybe I took them out. Not in the break room. I go into our boss's office. They're not in the office. We're looking all around the floors. So that's when me and him, we decided to double check, like, everywhere we went. Like, we were going in every classroom, the library, the gymnasiums, the locker rooms, and then we went to the auditorium. And that was when we went to the auditorium, we're like, let's see if we hear anything, right?
Yeah.
God. And then, where are my keys?
On the fucking driving fucking cleaner thing. That thing, yeah.
A drivable floor scrubber. And I had not been on the floor scrubber.
Yeah, you did not use it that night at all. And I was the one that used it. I stole your keys and put it on there. It was like, you weren't, like, legit. You're in there for one thing, I think.
That room?
Yeah, and the storage.
I don't remember. It was a couple months.
I think it was like early. Like, you just got in there.
Yeah, and then, yeah, it was early in our shift, but we went and got lunch that day.
What the fuck?
Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I think we went to Taco Bell.
Hey, this is Tyler.
But yeah, we went to Taco Bell, so, like, I didn't leave my keys in there, and I didn't go back into that room. And then we're checking everywhere, and then he was like, well, you did go in that room earlier. So that was when I looked. And on the floor scrubber, there's like a cup holder that hangs off the side, and the keys were clipped onto that cup holder. I mean, it could have been someone found them, and he was looking for somebody,
yeah,
and he didn't see anybody, so he's like, well, they're custodians, so they might be using this machine. But, like, no one was in the freaking building. And, like, if anybody else would have found the keys, like, they knew what I drove. They would be like, Luke, I got your keys. But that freaked me out. Because, like, There's no way.
We're looking everywhere, man.
We stayed probably till about 10:15, 10:30 looking for my freaking keys. Jeez.
And then our boss was there.
Yeah.
And then we we just sat there and talked for another hour.
Yeah. We didn't freaking leave that school till about like 11:30 to midnight.
Man.
Fucking hell.
And then shit, dude, what else happened?
In the school?
Yeah. Oh, remember we're in the locker room.
Oh
I had that area and I was in the locker room and like every time I went into the girls' locker room to clean, it was I can't explain. It's just fucking creepy in there at night.
You get a feeling.
Yeah, at night. You always feel like you hear whispers, and there's not really anybody in your area.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just you hear shit, and I don't know, it creeps the shit out of me. But this one time I was cleaning, and then he walks in to tell me something, and so we just like sit on like the bleachers by the lockers, and we just started talking, and then out of nowhere, all the doors were locked. Okay,
like locked and closed.
Yeah, all the exit doors. I already checked them. I already cleaned the area. I'm finishing up, and then we're talking. We're just having normal conversation, and then we stopped talking for like a second. We just hear the fucking one of the back doors that are fucking locked just slam shut.
And there wasn't any practices after school. Like, none of the kids were in the building. Like, it was an easy season for us or it was an easy part of the year for us because there weren't any, like, extracurricular activities going on. But that freaking door just slammed shut, and it was loud as hell.
Yeah. And you would have heard somebody coming.
Yeah.
You would have heard the door open if somebody walked in.
Mm-hmm. Like, we didn't hear footsteps.
Like, yeah, nothing at all.
And if someone did come in, like, we didn't hear him like walk in, like it wasn't a coach or something.
Yeah.
It just shut, and then we both looked at each other. We're like, what? And then we went to the door and it was closed, and we opened the door and like we look around and like no one's out there, and like the wind didn't blow it shut because it was already closed.
Yeah.
That was.
It's just unexplainable. Like,
yeah.
Why?
I don't know. God, dude. Man. And then we asked a couple of our coworkers if they experienced any creepy stuff that happened to them in the school. And then one of them was like, "No, I don't pay no mind of that stuff. I just do my work and go home." But another coworker, older guy, he always said that he'd hear footsteps running in his area, like little kid footsteps, like probably like 10-year-old kid footsteps.
Mm.
But like the motion sensor lights would never come on. Like you just hear the footsteps, and he's like, I swear there's like a little kid just running around like following me up there. Like I've never had any problems with it. It just scares the bejesus out of me.
Yeah, it's just like weird. It's something you don't want to talk to like a coworker about.
Yeah.
You don't want to look like a fucking like stupid.
Yeah.
And like
you tell them that and they're like, yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah, like.
God.
So like hearing like without like really talking to somebody about it, hearing them also have things happen to them. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. Like being in a school building when it's dark as hell. Mm-hmm. It's so creepy. Just
the noises everything makes by themselves.
Yeah,
is enough to put you on edge.
And then hearing like actual like a human sound just happen is.
Do you like that garbage bag?
Like
it literally sounded like someone took like a garbage bag and just slammed it up against the wall. Because it had that swish sound, and then it slammed.
Yeah, and then we couldn't see it because it was pitch black.
Literally, the only light was like coming through the crack of the door from the hallway, and the sound was on the other side. Jesus. And it was a huge auditorium. It could probably fit about 800 500, 800.
Something like that. It's huge.
Because, I mean, it had, like, seating, like, from one end, and it had about, like, 50 rows.
Yeah. And there's the one time I was in a different school building. It was the oldest building in the whole county.
Mm-hmm.
And, just the building itself, like, always, like, creak. And just make noises all by itself.
Mm-hmm.
But some of those noises, there's no way you're going to hear somebody talking in a room that every door is locked already. It's like 9 p.m. in the school building. You cleaned every area, and you hear somebody like talking in a classroom. And somebody's munching over there.
Munchy boy.
Like, it's just unexplainable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just happens. And that same school building, somebody was walking through the hallways. But I did have a teacher during the time. It was 6 p.m. It wasn't like the end of the shift.
Yeah.
She came in and she was like, "Oh, I'm just getting my purse." I was like, "Okay." Scared the hell out of me because I was in the bathroom. I hear like walking down the hall. I'm like, "What the hell? There's nobody supposed to be in here."
You're alive?
But like that night, I finished up my area and like I was putting everything away. In the basement, it's a library. You go down there.
It's under?
Yeah, it's under.
That's weird.
It's under, and like
the library is like under the school.
Yes, it's in the basement, and it's one of the smallest rooms. But like
yeah, that's a fun place for children.
Across the library, there's this door, like there's a door frame, and then it goes into a hallway. That it's so tiny. It's legit like 2 of these tables. But like, and like maybe 5 feet that way and 5 feet this way.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another door that goes into 2 classrooms combined. But like the little hallway between the doors is like their storage for the custodians.
Mm.
And like that's where you put the background when you're done.
Right.
And the light switch is in the room. It's not even near the stairwell where you're trying to go. You have to turn off the light at the other door, and then walk
through it,
and then walk through it in darkness. You can like trip over chairs and shit. But like, I felt like a little kid scared when he turns off the light and runs up the stairs, because that's how I felt. It was so fucking creepy.
Oh my god.
And
so wait, like, all right, so to get out of there, you have to turn the light switch off, go through the room, and then through the hallway.
No, it's right outside the hallway. Like you got the one light there, but the light switches are on both sides. So each classroom has their light switches in their room. So like at the hallway, you turn it off, and then you have to run to the stairs to get out of that hellhole.
Oh, okay. Jeez, dude.
And I got back up to the top hall. I still had 40 minutes till I could leave the building. And
you're just sitting there.
I'm sitting upstairs in there's another closet for the custodians. Mm-hmm. That I was just sitting in there. And I'm hearing noises. I thought I was going crazy. Like there's just noises everywhere. Building's already like cracking everywhere.
He says the oldest building, right?
Yeah, it's just creaking constantly. You're hearing noises left and right, man. And I was hearing whispers, like legit talking. In the building. I was so scared. I've never like felt so scared. I actually legit called Tyler. And I was like, "Hey man, I just need somebody to talk to. I'm going crazy in here. I'm hearing noises and shit."
God.
And the first thing he talks to me about is Fortnite. He's like, "Yeah, there's new skin in the shop." Like, what the hell, man?
You're making it worse.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to picture what's going through that electrician's mind when he's firing up. Hey, I got an idea. Let's put the light switch all the way over here so the kids. Oh man. See, I've never been in that. I've been in a lot of the schools, but I've never been in that building.
Yeah, it's creepy as hell.
Man, there's one time I was working at an elementary school. I got an assignment. Like I was there by myself for about 3 months during the summer. It's like I was the only one in that building, and since like it was it was a small elementary school, like maybe like 100 kids. I was the only one there. I mean, teachers would filter in and out like through the day, but I just had to put in my 8 hours.
Yeah.
So like the guy when I went there for basically like what I had to do during the 3 months. He's like, dude, honestly, you can come in whenever you want. Just stay 8 hours and you can leave. Like clock in whenever, clock out. Like, I don't care when you come. So like, it's summer. So like, I'm sleeping in. Like I'd probably, on average, I'd probably get there at like 4 in the afternoon, and I'd stay until midnight. Man, there's a couple times in that building where, like, I'd be vacuuming, like who has an elementary school that's all carpet, like with kids, like, but like one of my assignments was like I had to vacuum the whole school and then I had to carpet clean the whole school. Dude, it took forever. But there was one night, like there would be a couple times where they have this big gymnasium and it's just like big like 10-foot glass windows that have like the pillars in between them, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then it had like the big thick pillar and then like the roof and the ceiling. Yeah. Every time I was in that gymnasium, I swear to God, it felt like I was being watched from the outside. Like the gymnasium wasn't carpet, obviously, but like I'd be like sweeping, like I'd have like the 60-inch dust mop, and like I'd be like doing my zigzags. Every 5 feet, I'm like, it just felt like someone was watching me because on one side, the way you get to the gym was you walk up, it's like an inclined hallway, and then it's just a double door, and then just the gym. Mm. And then at the far end of the gym, on the right side, is a stairwell that leads up to about 4 more classrooms, and on the left side is a door that leads outside. On that far wall, straight across, there's a forest. Dude, every time I was facing that, like I swear to God, like someone or something was just glaring at me, like just watching me. Like I just had that feeling, like my hairs on the back of my neck were standing up. And there's one night where the lights in that gym were motion sensor. So like I'm sitting in there sweeping, mopping, and the lights go off as I'm walking in the gym, like sweeping, and the lights just go off. I'm like, that's not good. And so like I kind of paused for a second, like I just wanted to see if I could hear anything. Like, dude, it was just like pure silence. Mm-hmm. Like there weren't any like cricket sounds. There weren't like any like normal like school sounds, like air conditioning on or like water running through the pipes or anything like that. It was just like I was in a quiet room. Yeah. Like I was in a quiet valley. But like I was legit like scared. So like I paused for about a minute, 2 minutes, just to see if I could hear anything, and it was just dead quiet. Mm. And so then I was like, what the hell? Like, why are the lights off? So like I started walking around just back and forth, like to get the lights to turn back on, and it wouldn't turn back on. And so I walked up the one stairwell at the back to get to that, like those motion sensor lights turned on. So I walked back in the gym. So like I wanted to see if like maybe fuse is blown or something. Yeah. So I walked back in the gym and walked through it. Lights don't come on. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I walked back in the hallway. The minute like I opened the door into the hallway lights come on. So I'm like, what the heck? It's like I just didn't go back to that gym for a while. It's like I went and I started vacuuming the other classrooms and stuff. Probably about 30 minutes later, I went back into the gym. I walked back in. like 5 steps into the gym, lights turn back on. And I was just like, what the hell? I was like, why did they not turn on when I'm like doing this crap, like trying to get them to turn on? But I remember like the next day, I called the guy because he gave me his number. He's like, call me if you have any problems. Like at that time, it was probably about 11, maybe 10 o'clock. Like I didn't want to call the dude at 10 o'clock, so I called him the next day. I was like, hey man, have you ever had any like problems with the motion sensor lights in the gym? He's like, nah, like they've never like had a problem. I mean, like they go out after a while, so you have to replace them, but they've never like not worked. And like I told him what happened, and he just like, it's fucking creepy, dude. And like this guy has been at that school for, at that time, he said he was there for 8 years. And he's like, in the 8 years, he said he's never had a problem with them. I was like, have you ever been in there at night? Like maybe like the darkness messing with me? He's like, no, I've been in that school like overnight, like plenty of times, and they've never not turned on. So I'm just like, all right. So I'm gonna start coming earlier so I can do that shit. But ever since then, I started doing the gym like first thing.
Yeah.
God, man.
And there was another, like, it was like an intermediate school that I was working at. I never had a problem at that school. Nothing. Compared to, like, I don't know why it is, but every school always has something creepy happen at it. This one, I was there for a month, and nothing creepy happened. And until one night, I go in and I clean every door, every classroom.
I'm wiping them doors down.
I just clean the door and leave. Classroom's clean. But when I would clean a classroom, I would start at the end of the hall and then work all my way to the back. And then I would leave every classroom door open. And like as I'm working, some teachers like close the door. I'd open it back up, and just so because they wouldn't lock their doors there.
Yeah.
They just didn't really care. So I had no reason to close the doors. So I just left them open. So I make sure I go in every classroom and check to make sure there's nothing on the floor, and then I close that door as I'm leaving, because I would have like a hallway, and then I would have another hallway the other way. I just do the same thing, but this one, I went through, started all the way from the front, opened the door, like walked in, turned the lights, checked, nothing. Got all the way to the last door, and then I quickly just like peek in there, turn the light on, look around, shut the light off, and as I'm closing the door, I look in, I see the computer screen on, and I just see a woman's face. Like it's an old woman's face. Not like the teacher. I've met the teacher. But there's just an old woman's face there.
On the computer screen?
No.
Or like near the computer?
The brightness from the computer screen was illuminating like a face. As I'm closing the door, like I could see it through the crack. I just see it. I close the door, and as the door's like closed, I'm like, that was a fucking person in there. And like I didn't want to open the door back up. Fuck. I just walked out. Like.
Fuck that.
And like, then walking through like a really long hallway with all the doors closed, and every door like they had like windows in it, and like just pure darkness in every classroom as you're walking down a long hallway. It's just creepy as hell. But like that's only the creepiest thing that happened.
It's the computer screen.
Yeah.
Man.
I was creeped out. I didn't want to look back in there.
Oh, I wouldn't have. Screw that.
It wasn't the teacher. It's just an old woman's face that I've never met.
Did you see like any other part of her body, like a silhouette?
It was just like from her shoulders up to her face. And like I couldn't really see the eyes. That's the thing. I couldn't see the eyes.
Was she looking at you or the computer screen? Or do you remember?
I can't remember. I just remember an old woman's face.
God.